This knife and sheath is ready to be dropped in the mail. This one is going to Erica at Erica's EDC. The knife has Canvas Micarta Scales. It's 1/8 inch thick, 01 tool steel. You have about a 3.5 inch blade, about a 3 5/8 inch inner grip. I wear large size gloves, and this fits comfortably in my hand. It comes out about flush with the other side of my pinky on the other side, and is very comfortable to hold. It's got a little bit of thickness, so it's got a little bit of meat to it, and I think this is going to be comfortable in just about anybody's hands. There's a leather sheath. It's made out of 8 to 9 ounce leather with holes in it to form a modular system that can take different attachments. And next I'm going to show how this sheath can be configured with these attachments. The first attachment is going to be the belt loop. These are Chicago screws. It's exactly the same hardware on both. So if you lose 1 or 2 screws, you're still all right. So let me take these off. Now this is going to go on with the loop angled forward. That way it sits with a little bit of cant on the belt. So you'll find the holes that you want to put it in, and those Chicago screws stick through. So you simply place those in the holes, put your fingers on there, and put this side in position. And screw it down. You don't have to kill them. I make them snug. You just want them tight enough so they're not going to work loose on you. Now you have a nice belt carry option, ambidextrous, either left or right. And you can adjust the position of the loop to adjust the balance of the knife and how it sits on your belt. That's pretty good. It's hanging there pretty well balanced in that position. The sheath is a little tight. It's brand new. It'll break in. Leather needs to be tight when it's new. If it fits properly when it's brand new, it's going to end up being too loose in a very short amount of time. All right, so let's take the belt loop off. And it's good practice to put the screws and washers back right away. Prevents them from getting lost. Now onto the pocket clip. One thing that's a little bit different here is I have 2 rubber washers installed. That'll keep the clip riding a little bit above the surface of the leather so that your clip isn't constantly abrading on the stitching. So if you want this for right hand carry, it's going to sit like this in the pocket. So we'll put it on this side. Right, up one more, right about there. So we find the correct spot. We'll just screw it down. Now there's a little bit of wiggle room in the clip, so I just put it in the right spot so it's straight before I snug up the screws. And there you go. That'll clip over the edge of your pocket and hold the sheath upright. The knife goes in about that far, and to draw it, I place my fingers here and I'm pushing on the sheath as I pull. If it feels like it's stuck and it doesn't want to pull out, just grab it and give a little twisting motion just to break that friction between the knife handle and the sheath, and then it'll come out easier. Inside you have the coarse side of the leather, and then the Canvas Micarta, I leave it a little bit rough. I don't sand this stuff down perfectly smooth. I want a little bit of texture in there for grip. So between the grippiness on the knife handle and on the inside of the leather sheath, it can almost once in a while feel like it's stuck. Plus, like I said, it's brand new. It fits a little tight. So just give a little twist like that, and then it will pull out, even though it's still a little bit snug. Like I said, it'll be better once it's broken in. I originally developed these products for myself because I don't like using the commercial stuff that's available that has all kinds of chemicals and petroleum products used in the manufacturing. Now, if you use any of these commercial products on your leather or on your steel, you have to wash your knives off thoroughly before you start processing food. And any kind of leather conditioner that you use, if you use it on your leather, you can expect some of it to get on your knife. So again, why use stuff that is potentially toxic? This is made of 4 ingredients. In here you have beeswax, olive oil, coconut oil, and mineral oil. These 2 chapstick tubes are the same conditioner, and I made these for hiking and camping and things like that, or any time you need a portable version of the conditioner. It's not only for leather. You can use it to protect carbon steel knives. It works great for that. I've also used this on slip joints. Now, some of your slip joints, because of the high spring pressure, just forces oil out. I've taken and I've used this as a grease and just put a real thin coating on the parts where it rubs between the knife blade and the spring, and that's worked excellent as a lubrication, and it stays put. I also have a knife flush and a knife lube, and what these are is 2 different weights of a special food grade mineral oil that was manufactured for use on machines that handle food, so on food processing machines. So this stuff has to be food safe. And the knife flush is really thin. If you use this, especially in the slip joint, under the spring pressure, it's going to force it to come out all of the pores of the knife. And as it comes out, it's going to pull all the dirt and all the debris and all that ickiness out of the knife. And then you have the heavier lube to lube it. So this stuff is great, especially this flush on knives that don't come apart, like your slip joints, which are all pinned together construction. If you want any more information about any of these products, you can visit my Etsy store. It's lcknives.etsy.com. Along with the leather conditioner, the pivot oil, and the pivot flush, I'm going to include a set of sharpening guides with this knife. Now, what you do with these is you take your bench stone. You can pretend this cold steel box is a bench stone. And if you want to sharpen it 15 degrees per side, you take a 15-degree guide and fasten it on with a rubber band. Now, when you go to sharpen, you can take a flat on your knife, register it there. That gives you your angle, and then you maintain that angle as you sharpen. And then you can check it every once in a while to make sure you're holding that same angle. Now, if you're going off of the knife here where it's beveled, that won't work right. Just say, for instance, if this knife is ground at a 5-degree bevel, that's very different than on this flat. See, if we take a look again on this box, there you're flat, and if I pull forward, see the knife tipped up? That means you'd be sharpening at a steeper bevel. So let's say this is 5 degrees. If you want to sharpen at 15 degrees per side, you're going to need to use the 10-degree angle guide. And then those two angles together will give you 15 degrees per side. Another thing you can do is lay your knife down and tip it so the bevel is right, and then see what angle guide fits under the knife on the other side, and then that would be the correct one to use. So these angle guides will help you to maintain a consistent angle when freehand sharpening. They'll help develop muscle memory, and they'll get you where you want and have a more consistent, more pristine edge. That's going to be it for this one. I'm going to pack everything up and get it ready to ship. We'll see you next time.